we're don't want to get off on a rant here, but we're such a we've had such soft lives that we look for things to be upset about. I really think that's true. And I'm not going to say that I don't do that. I'm not going to lie and sit here and go, well, I'm human. But yeah, I was watching social media today. It's just like, God, some people, I'm not going to go on to a big political thing here, I promise. But man, some people are just, I think this pandemic broke a lot of people. I really do. Anyway, let's talk about something a lot more exciting. Although as soon as those words out of my mouth, I'm like, but I hate beer. And I do. I think beer is disgusting. But a lot of people like it. I know my opinion is definitely the minority. So let's talk about some of the health benefits of beer. This information is from lifehack.org. Number one, it helps lower your risk of heart disease. There was an Italian study that showed a pint of beer a day can reduce your risk of heart disease by 31%. That's a pretty significant number. This is due to antioxidants in beer called phenols. Now, a word of caution. You have to keep everything, when you're talking about booze, you really need to keep moderation in mind because too much beer is going to increase your risk of heart disease. Number two, this fascinates me. It helps protect against Alzheimer's. Loyola University analyzed several studies and they found people are 23% less likely to develop forms of dementia and cognitive impairment, including Alzheimer's. Again, this is moderate consumption, but they think this is because of the silicone content in beer, which is thought to protect the brain, good grief, the brain from effects of aluminum in the body, which is believed to be part of the cause of these cognitive declines. And I got to tell you guys, if you've never had to see that, if you've never watched a loved one go through that cognitive decline, you are so blessed. You have no idea how lucky you are because I've watched it and it sucks because you lose that loved one twice. You lose the person they used to be, and then of course you lose them in entirety. It's a weird thing. It's like two different, hi Karen. It's like two totally different grieving processes. It's very weird. Anyway, see, I said we were going to keep it happy and there I go being really, but the point is moderate beer consumption can help protect you against these cognitive declines. Number three, beer can help lower the risk of diabetes. There was a Harvard study in 2011 that showed that 2 beers a day lowered the risk of type 2 diabetes by a whopping 25% in middle-aged men. I think that's a pretty remarkable number. Alcohol content increases your insulin sensitivity, which helps prevent diabetes, although that doesn't look right looking at it, but that's what they said. Number four, it can help prevent kidney stones. They did a Finnish study and that's the key, moderate daily consumption can lower your risk of kidney stones by up to 40%. Why? Because beer has a lot of water. It's about 93% water. Plus, it has compounds. Good grief, I'm having a hard time. I haven't even had anything to drink yet. There's compounds in the hops that slows the release of calcium from your bones, which of course is going to help prevent it from building up in your kidneys. Number five, this one I thought was really interesting. The ones that fascinate me the most are the ones that apply to me, obviously, but it may help minimize your cancer risk. It contains I should have looked up how to pronounce this, damn it, but I was like, oh, I can say that. I cannot say this. Xanthomumol, but it's a very important antioxidant, and it's known to have powerful anti-cancer properties. So moderate beer consumption helps prevent a certain chemical reaction that can lead to prostate cancer. Gentlemen, are you listening to this? Beer is also known to reduce the chance of developing breast cancer in women. Now, in fairness, I'm going to say it probably helps prevent breast cancer in men as well because men do get breast cancer. Number six, beer can help reduce your cholesterol. The barley used in brewing, I'm having a really hard time tonight, contains beta-glucans, which is a type of soluble fiber known to help lower your cholesterol. Sorry, I'm itchy. It's so dry here, y'all. I am so freaking itchy. It's just ridiculous. I put so much crap on my skin to try to deal with it, but I am a woman of a certain age and I live in a horribly dry climate, and it's, yeah, it's brutal. Um, we did the cholesterol. Number 7, beer can help you manage your blood pressure. Another Harvard study, it showed. I agree, Blondie. I think beer is so disgusting. I went to a comedy show a couple years ago. It's a really cute little Irish comedian, and he had this great song about put the Budweiser back in the Clydesdale. I thought that was really appropriate, but yeah, I'm not a beer person. I like the flavor in like there used to be a place in town that made the best damn pizza, and they had beer in their pizza dough, and it was amazing. So I like the flavor baked into like breads or something, but not just to drink a beer. And I've tried and tried and tried, and you know what I found out? I have never been thirsty enough to enjoy a beer. Beer can help strengthen your bones. Oh, I agree. It's got that funky bitter taste. I don't want to drink anything bitter. Why? I just don't understand that. I also don't understand the sour candy thing. So, there you go. Hi, Jerry. How you doing, honey? Anyway, where the hell was I? Yes, yeasty. Yes. Funny how that tastes good in bread, but not in. But then you've got all that sugar in the bread to help counter that. I was talking about the blood pressure. Harvard study showed women 25 to 40 who are moderate beer drinkers, thank you, Nursey, are significantly, good grief, less likely to develop high blood pressure than those who drink wine or other alcoholic beverages. So, Blondie, we're kind of screwed. Number 8, beer can help strengthen your bones. It contains silicon, which is an element linked to bone health. There was a 2009 Tufts study that showed older people who drink 1 to 2 beers daily have a higher bone density than those who do not. Now, since I'm not a beer drinker, I need to lift weights because I am concerned about bone density. My mother, thank goodness I did not get my poor mama's bones. My poor mama had the most thin, brittle damn bones. And I've come from my genetics must be a little hardier than hers. It must come from the more peasant side of the family or something. But when I had my bone density test, they said, no, you've got really good bones. So thank God for that. But ladies, this shit's important. You need to worry about that. You really do. You're better off to worry about it when you're still young enough to do something about it. I am all over the place tonight. Oh, well, my regulars are used to that. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, is it just me? Or when you drink beer, I mean, it's way worse than water for making you go to the bathroom, don't you think? 1 to 2 beers a day, I would never get out of. I would be in the bathroom all night peeing. I would never get out of there. I don't want to do that. I'd rather drink water. I'd rather drink wine and water. Number 9. This one doesn't apply to me, but I just thought it was such a quirky, interesting one. It's a natural dandruff treatment. In fact, it's considered to be the best or one of the best natural dandruff treatments. This is due to the high yeast and vitamin B levels. You just rinse your hair 2 to 3 times a week to eliminate the dandruff, and it's also going to make your hair soft and shiny. Now, the soft and shiny I could certainly use. Someone asked me the other day if I ever have bad hair days. If you're watching, yes. The answer is a definite yes. My hair is so frizzy today. It's another thing about living in a really arid climate. I was talking to my hairdresser who also has naturally curly hair. I was like, man, when I was in Texas, my hair was it loved it. It did so well, and I didn't have the frizzies like I do here. I put coconut oil in my hair like crazy here. I don't have to when I'm in Texas, and it got a little frizzy, but nothing like it does here. My hairdresser said, people don't understand that, but dry climates are worse for the frizz than humid climates. Oh my gosh. Girl, that's got to be heavy as hell. Mine's, well, I guess I can't say much. Mine's almost to my waist. It was to my waist until I cut a few inches off recently. But that's got to be heavy. You get headaches when you put it up? I do. But then I get headaches because of my health issues. So I never know what's causing it. Finally, number 10. It reduces your risk of a stroke. This is also something, if you've never had to watch somebody you love go through that, you are freaking blessed, because they are brutal. Oh gosh, girl. Yeah, I know. And and if you're anything like me, it looks like you slaughtered a small animal in there, because there's just hair all over, isn't there? But it reduces your risk of a stroke. The American Stroke Association did studies that show moderate beer consumption can cut your risk of stroke by a whopping 50%. That is incredible over non-drinkers. Why? It's because it helps prevent the blood clots that block blood flow to the heart, neck, and brain, which obviously that's what causes strokes. So there you go. There are 10 health benefits of beer. Gentlemen, you're welcome. Well, and ladies, I know a lot of my girlfriends love beer. I don't know how they do it, but they don't know how I drink all my fruity things that I like. So there you go. To each their own. And that's what makes the world an interesting place, because it would be boring as hell if we were all exactly the same. But I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. If you've not done so, please subscribe to my Haps channel. If you want to catch up with me on social media, Twitter is the only place I spend any time, which please don't judge me. But at Alaskan Courtney, I try to be very responsive. Really? That's got to be hard to watch. You know, as someone with a lot of health issues, I've been in the hospital a lot of times, unfortunately. And a good nurse is truly worth their weight in platinum. That being said, I've had some horrible ass nurses. I had one, and I actually watched the news for a few years after I was in, this was when I was in the hospital in California. I kept an eye on the news for about 10 years, because I seriously, I swore the guy was going to end up in the news for killing patients. Blondie, you'll love this. So you know the IVs in the back of your hand? I'm laying there in the bed. I can't go anywhere. And this male nurse would come in, and he'd grab that IV and he'd dig that damn thing into the back of my hand. It's like, dude, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, oh, I've never had an IV before. I didn't know what was going on. Like, oh, we have to do that to keep it clear. Well, I didn't know any better. So I'd let him do it. Well, a few days go by, and a female nurse comes in, and she reaches for my arm, and I pulled my hand back, and I started to cry. And I was like, please don't do that. Is it really necessary? And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? So I told her what happened. I'm sitting there just bawling, and I told her what had happened, and she was pissed. Never saw the guy again, but I'll never forget him, because he went by the name Sparky. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be bitchy. I'm going to just stop right there. But yeah, isn't that crazy? What a freaking psychopath. I bet he is killing patients somewhere. They just haven't caught him yet. Anyway, but that took a dark turn. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Yeah, I know that now. I wish I would have known that then. I really do. I mean, and that's what sucks when you're dealing with health issues. You trust these professionals. I just had a guy jump on me on Twitter, and he claims to be a doctor, but who knows? I mean, hell, I could claim to be a doctor on Twitter for all that, But he was telling me that there's really not very many valid medical reasons not to have vaccinations. And I'm like, Guillain-Barré disease, reason number 1, dumbass. And he actually tried to argue that with me. Guillain-Barré disease is caused by vaccinations. It destroys your nerves. Oh, that's awesome. I might have to come down. If I ever have to go back in, I'm going to come find you. That's what I think too. Especially, and he's on there whining about his student loan debt. So I told him, maybe instead of trolling chronically ill people on Twitter, he ought to be working to pay off his student loan debt. I'm just saying. Yeah, that might be a little bitchy. He started it. I am the nicest person in the world, but don't come at me about my health issues, because that'll piss me off. That's awesome. Yes, that is true. That is very true. Beer does make a good marinade. It has its purposes. I might try it for my hair, although I keep thinking I don't want to smell like beer. I mean, you rinse it out, obviously, but then should you? Because I know, this is way off, but I know if you put vinegar in your hair, it reeks for a few minutes, but the smell dissipates. So I wonder if beer would too. I might Google that and see. Anyway, that is all I have. I hope y'all have a great weekend. I will be back Monday at